Hello, welcome to another episode of the Liquid Japa podcast. My name is Saheed. Welcome to our insight today about the Trump executive order on the birthright citizenship. This is particularly vital because international students are affected. When I mean affected, I don't mean negatively. I mean they are part of the clause and things like that. And I know this podcast has been very vital to various people. And I believe that weighing in on my own insight is vital to this as well. First and foremost, I would like to say that everything I say is my opinion. Please do not take this as legal advice. Do not in any way postulate that you heard something from me and hence it is legal. Please always speak to an immigration lawyer. Always abide as an international student with the norms of what you signed up when you were coming here by always referring to your school DSO because they are your best resource in terms of immigration needs. That said, let's jump right in. So, first and foremost, I would like to just give some kind of background on what this is about. The first thing is what is an executive order? So, an executive order is like a fiat, something that a president can do from the executive branch. There are three branches there's the executive branch, there is the Congress, which is made up of the Senate and the House, and there is the judicial. The Senate and the House of Rep write laws. That is what they are meant to do. People elect these people into office to write laws to govern them. What the executive does is to sign whatever law that has been written by the Congress into law. And the judicial branch's main aim is to interpret the law. So the judicial branch does not write any law. So that's just to give you like a context of how things work here. So usually the Senate writes a bill, the House writes a bill, they reconcile, and then it goes to the president. An amendment is a change in the Constitution. There has been 27 amendments in total. The amendment in this case was Amendment 14 that was written in 1898, I believe. Let me just double check my records here. It was written July 9th, 1868, not 98. And what does that state? So I have my little booklet here, the Constitution of the United States right here, and I'm going to be reading Amendment 14. So it states, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So that's section 1 of Amendment 14. Um, so why does this matter for international students? The reason why it does matter for international students and why I'm doing this is because of one of the clauses within the executive order. And I'm looking at it right now. What it's saying is that when a person's mother was unlawfully present in the United States and the father was not a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident, the child is not a citizen. There are other further clauses that states that if there's anybody that is in not so basically your parent has to either be a permanent resident or a US citizen. So what that does is that the category of persons I'm referring to today, international students, they don't fall in either category. So it would mean that, oh, if you're here with your family on an F1 and you have your wife on an F2 and you have kids, do they qualify to be US citizens? If this executive order passes, then if it goes into effect, which is 30 days from the 20th of January when it was signed, then it's in effect. So the executive has that privilege of writing something that is not in law, like a fiat. However, this particular EO executive order has been challenged in court. A Seattle judge, earlier today, rather, essentially said, no, we have to pause this. So what typically happens is when that is paused, they will go to a higher court, and then, they want to take the case to the Supreme Court. But, I am not a legal scholar. My aim here is not to tell you about whether this is valid or not. I am very concerned about international students and the chatter that has been going on, and I want to provide guidance. So to give you context, I came into the US in 2015 and I graduated 2017. Trump was in power from 2016 to 2020. So I lived under the first Trump presidency. I still live under a Trump presidency right now, but under his first tenure. And it was very different because Trump was not the typical politician. He was very mercurial, meaning he had instances where he just went against the norm, against the grain. But we went through it. We lived through it. So one of the first advice that I would give international students is please know the law. Understand how the US functions. You're not on holiday. You're not here to count bridges. You're not here to go to Disney World or anything like that, even though you can go. But your ultimate aim here as an international student is to study. So the first piece of advice I would say is please make sure you do not let that slip. Ensure you keep studying as much as you can. That's the first thing I want to say, to not get distracted. That's so for me, I came, 2015, like I said. So 2017 was when I started working at a semiconductor industry, in the semiconductor industry, and I was able to get H1B. Again, the H1B process, when I did go through it, was very shaky because everyone was petrified and scared of Trump. I got my H1B under Trump, thankfully. So, it is very possible. You just have to keep your head up and keep your eyes straight. In a Trump presidency, he also introduced interviews that you had to go through an interview to get a legal permanent residency, which I did. I got my green card in 2019, October of 2019, under a Trump presidency. And we went through, my wife and I went through an interview process. The last time they had done interview process was 1992. But Trump felt that he wanted to do what they call extreme vetting, which is I want to interview every person that is requesting a green card. Again, we went through it and we came out on top, and my wife and I got our green card. So it is very possible to go through a Trump presidency without losing your mind because of the volume of information and the volume of engagement that comes with it. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. Please make sure you graduate on time. Make sure you get your OPT if you want to get your OPT. Try as much as possible to get a job, so do not wait. This is January. There is a conference for NESB that is happening in March. It happens March of every year. I cannot remember where it's happening this year, but please go ahead and register for NESB. Keep your eye on the prize. Your eye on the prize is to make sure you succeed as much as you can. In the US, irrespective of who the president is. So do not be distracted. That's the first thing. So what's the other thing I want to make sure? Please make sure you do not overstay your visas. Ensure that you keep your status and visas in check. There is a big difference between a visa and a status. For those who do not know, a visa is a piece of document that allows you to come into the US. And a status is what your status is. So for me, for example, I came into the US August of 2015 with a visa. I never exited, but I had to change statuses. November 2024, I got my US citizenship, so I do not have to worry about being a legal permanent resident or a non-immigrant visa and things like that. My immigration journey has come to an end the moment I got the US citizenship. So that's the ultimate goal. That should be your driving force. That should be paramount in your mind. Nothing else, nothing more. Your eye on the ball, your eye on the prize is to make sure you succeed as an international student. So always reach out to your school DSO. Make sure you consistently know what the update is from your school DSO. There will be many more dramatic events in the next 4 years as Trump is president. So every single day, expect there to be different challenges. The OPT might be challenged next. The STEM OPT might be challenged next. The H1B might be challenged next. At every single instance and every single turn, make sure you're reading stuff from blogs. Make sure you are reaching out to immigration lawyers. Make sure you are very, very close to your school DSO, because they are your best resource. They will always keep you in check. Always, always keep you informed. Do not lose your focus. That's one thing I'm going to let you know. The media onslaught is going to be consistent and continuous. It's going to be a stream of consciousness. Different things will be thrown at you. Different things will be said. You would panic. You would be scared. But I can guarantee you, you would always come out on top. So do not lose focus. So make sure you do not break any laws. Make sure you pay your parking tickets when it's due. If you have any speeding tickets, make sure you pay them. Everybody's human. Make sure you do not get yourself arrested for anything like theft. Do not go into the shops to steal anything as an F1 student. Please make sure you stay morally upright. It is very vital in this period. Anything that happens to that status, you're going to be in serious jeopardy. Carry a form of ID, preferably a driver's license. If you are not licensed to drive, please carry a state ID. Always have a form of ID with you. It is very important. They can run checks with your ID. I say that because it's the law of the land, but at the same time, a form of ID is very vital. If possible, keep a copy of your I-20 in your phone. So get the cam scanner app. Scan your credentials. So scan your passport, scan your I-20, and whatever documents that you have. Always have it handy with you. You're just being careful. So I'm not saying don't go out. Please live your life as it should. Everything will be okay. It's just a Trump presidency. That's the expectation. There is no. You would enjoy the engagement because there'll be lots of it, but do not let yourself to be bogged down. Do not let yourself to be discouraged. Let the lawyers do their work. They were expecting it. They've been anticipating it. So that's just the way it is. It's not the end of the world. Things will be fine. So let me see if I have any other thing. Yeah. So one of the things you need to understand as I close is America is a fantastic nation. It's not perfect, but that is why you have the amendments. Because if it was a perfect nation, there would be no need for amendments. There have been 27 of them. You can imagine how much work it takes to put in work. America again is at a junction. So what you just need to do is understand the process, use this opportunity to learn about how the US institutions work. Be curious about it, but do not be bogged down about it. That's my whole point. Do not be bogged down about it. So right now, the executive order has been stayed by the courts, which means that in 30 days, none of that is effective. However, expect that in 30 days, if it doesn't work your way through the courts, it is very possible that there might be machineries that he might use. But again, it is just a Trump presidency. So take it like you would any other kind of presidency. It's his style. And we're in for the next 4 years. And you'll be fine. I want you to also make sure that you find a job, get an internship this summer. Please do an internship this summer. There are lots of companies looking out to hire international students. There are still jobs out there, so go hunting for these jobs. Graduate with great colors, flying colors. And, please keep in touch. If you have any questions and if you have any comments, please put it in the comment section. Please subscribe and like this video. And I'll over time release even more videos regarding this thing. So anything that involves international students, that executive orders, insights. I'll be ready to drop a video for you to, allay your fears that everything is going to be all right, you would succeed, and this too shall pass. So don't trouble yourself. and please stay safe and stay secure with within your within your homes. And I bid you well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for listening to me. This is Saheed signing out. Peace out.